It's here on YouTube.
And strike and strike and strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now.
Hey there, everybody. I hope you all can hear me. It is I, Gary Schumacher, and I am confusing everybody because they think it's Wednesday, and it is not Wednesday. It is not Heretic Hump Day. It is Tuesday, and it is Election Day here in my wonderful home of the Garden State, which may not be too much wonderful for much longer if somebody gets elected to the governor today. So I decided to come on and do some election coverage today because these two elections, New York and New Jersey, are very pivotal, especially New York, actually. And I tried to get Tanqueray Tony to come in and talk about his election thoughts, but I could not get a hold of him. It was too late in the day for that. So, but I did find someone to fill in for Tanqueray Tony, and I'm going to bring him in right now. He is right here. And this is the Alabama Woodsman. Hello, Alabama. How are you today?
I'm so glad that Tanqueray had something else to do.
Yeah, I know. So you're my number two. You're my pinch hitter.
My abode is not quite as hot as his abode, but you know.
Yeah, he does all right for a guy from Brooklyn. Yeah,
absolutely.
Looks more like Manhattan. But I wanted to come on and do this. I went out and voted today. I don't know. You got a governor going on over there in Alabama today? No governor?
No, not governor.
No. Well, we got some fun stuff going over here in Jersey and New York, and here in New Jersey we have a lady running for the Democratic Party, Mickey Sherrill, Democrat, and then we got Jack Ciccarelli, Republican. He sounds like a good Jersey boy. Hey, to my friend Jack Ciccarelli over here.
Isn't Hannity endorsing him?
What's that?
Isn't Hannity endorsing him? Hannity's endorsing somebody. I know he's endorsing Cuomo, isn't he?
Not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Out of the lesser of the two or three evils or something kind of way.
Trump is actually gave his nod to Jack Ciccarelli. He's a Republican, but he's staying out of Jersey because Trump is not popular here in New Jersey, and I don't understand why. The guy owned Atlantic City at one time. He owned the only New Jersey football team when they had the USFL. You remember that they had the New Jersey Generals. Trump owned that. Trump even employed me for a little while. I worked and did the heating and air conditioning years and years ago at his International Country Club in Bedminster, which is still there. I'm not allowed to go there anymore, but I don't have that kind of money.
I think when he identified, even though his philosophy's been conservative and Republican, when he identified as a Democrat, everybody loved him. And then when they realized, wait a minute, he's not who we thought, now all of a sudden they hate him, and he's the same man he was before.
Right. I mean, if you look at the some videos and pictures of him years ago, he was buddy with the Clintons and all the Democrats, Chuck Schumer and all.
He was on a show saying he would years ago run as a Republican, though, because the Democrats were just tearing everything apart.
Yeah, he was on Oprah a long time ago talking about it. She asked him if he'd ever run for president. He goes, I don't know, Oprah. He goes, he said his quote was, if my country needed me, then I would consider it. But that was long ago, back when Oprah had the big hair and all that. It was funny when I came home from the Persian Gulf. I was gone for a year, and I was in Philly airport, and I kept seeing these signs, and all it said was Oprah, Oprah, Oprah. That's it, just Oprah, in the Philadelphia airport. So I get on the phone with my mother, and I call. I go, I got two questions. What's an Oprah and what's an Alf? Because when I was gone, those two things became popular. I
Okay,
didn't know what either one of them were.
when I was in Baghdad, we would hear these people on the loudspeaker saying, American soldier, your wife is making romance with Bart Simpson.
Oh,
Because they didn't know Bart Simpson was a cartoon.
that's funny.
Your wife is making happy with Bart Simpson. Their propaganda
Yes.
radio and
I
stuff.
should have told him to eat my shorts.
Yeah, Bart Simpson is making kisses with your wife.
Making kisses. Oh, I forgot. I didn't have a chance to check the chat. We have Robin here tonight. We got Feathers in the house. She's been playing Feathers. She's been praying for New York City. We all need to pray for New York City because if New York City falls to socialism, this whole country is in a whole lot of trouble.
Oh yeah, this is very serious because
Yeah.
number one, there's a mass exodus happening even right now.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's going to affect the housing market. And I'll bet you Wall Street leaves. I bet they pack up and go. But he's gonna put so much tax on people; they're gonna be stuck.
Well, he wants all free stuff. He's telling, and this is why he'll get elected. When you promise people free stuff, they're going to run out and vote for you.
There's more people receiving free stuff than people working for the
Yeah.
stuff. And so, yeah, his timing is perfect. I know he's backed by Soros and all that, but his timing is perfect. But this is going to shoot an economic ripple through the entire country. And look, I am not a henny penny, the sky's falling kind of person. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is very troubling because I don't know that we can recover from this.
Well,
If New York falls to socialism, y'all, I really think we're done economically.
Well, that's what that's part of their game here. They want to put a hole in the ship here and make it sink because Trump's president. And they'll blame everything on Trump. This is an interesting thing. Andrew Cuomo was beaten by Madani for the Democratic nomination for governor. And so he's running as an independent. He's on the ticket. We have two independents and then Curtis Sliwa, who hasn't got a chance of even probably coming in close here. Andrew Cuomo is actually, I never thought I'd see the day, but Trump is backing Andrew Cuomo, the independent, other than Curtis Sliwa. So that's very interesting. And then you have somebody named Eric Adams, I never heard of. And the interesting part about that is, so you got two independents and a Republican and a Democrat. And it's a mess. It's a complete mess over there.
Let me tell you what they're reporting here in the South. Mamdani's name appears twice on the ballot on two different parties or two different, like the Conservative Family Party and then the Democrat Party. So his name is on there twice. And then you got Eric Adams on there who dropped out of the race. They left his name on there so that he could get a bunch of votes, which would rob it from Cuomo. So this whole ballot smells bad, but it's all designed to make sure their guy wins.
Absolutely, and that's what's going to happen. I'm no prophet, but I will prophesy tonight, or I will predict tonight, not prophesy, that this Madani will win the New York, and then the country and New York will get the government they deserve. Okay, that's exactly what they'll get. And what happens with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money. He won't be mayor 5 minutes before he'll start screaming to upstate New York, to the governor for a handout to help bail out New York City, and government will do it because without New York, honestly, I've always thought being the mayor of New York City is tougher than being the governor of New York. I really do. Well, that is a tough city to run.
One of the things that always slapped me in the face was you get these governors and these big city mayors, and they spend other people's money into near bankruptcy. And then the federal government, which is us, bails them out. As soon as a Democrat president gets in, he'll give the money back to New York. It is such a scam what's going on politically that we're kind of unalive men walking is what we really are right now.
Yeah. I mean, some things have to change. And another thing, with elections like this is one thing. I mean, other things like the House and the Senate, we really, really need term limits up there. But unfortunately, they're never going to vote themselves term limits, so don't even think about it.
I came up with
They're
the
not stupid.
idea. Yeah, I came up with the idea, and somebody else may have. I'm not saying this is, but nobody told me this. I came up with the idea. What we should do with our taxes is let everybody designate where they want their tax money to go, and then you'd see what's
Imagine.
not needed.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I could tell the federal government, hey, I'm giving you X number, but I'm giving you 27% of my income, and I want it to go here, here, and here, and everyone did that across the board, you'd see these nonsense programs dry up quickly.
You will. You don't see the American taxpayers telling the government, "Here's my tax dollars. Please flush it down a rabbit hole."
Yeah.
You never see that, but that's where it goes.
Yep.
Now I got a couple little clips here I want to play. So just if you want to, just stop me anytime if you want to make a comment on it. But these are just some political nonsense. Now this is Curtis Lewa here on the right with the beret on, and I don't know if there's a lot of people out there may not know who he is, but I remember him from a kid, and everybody either loved or hated this guy because he would go around stopping people, ladies from getting mugged in bad neighborhoods and things like that because he had a group of guys.
Guardian Angels, wasn't it? Something like that in New York. Guardian Angels.
NYPD did not like them. Did not like them at all, and there was a whole big battle over him and them doing that. So
Yeah, he was this close to vigilantism.
yeah, he was very close to it. And but all right,
But now this is my opinion. Folks, y'all don't have to believe this, but as a lawman, a good vigilante made crime drop really quick.
Well, you ever watch Death Wish with Charles Bronson?
Yeah. Nobody knew who the good guy acting bad was, and so they all stayed in the house, and crime drops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. I mean, and also helps crime drop is when you call in the National Guard, because your Democratic mayor or whoever are not allowing the police to do their job, and that also helps drop crime. It sure did. Yep. All right, let me just play this real quick. Oh, I forgot to turn the sound on. Hold on a second. I did that on purpose. Okay.
Tonight in New York City, a critical election day just hours away. The frontrunner for mayor, upstart Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani on the Brooklyn Bridge, looking to rally working-class New Yorkers.
Let them feel the light of City Hall when they're late night.
So I want to stop it right here. You see that woman over his right shoulder? Mm-hmm. That is Letitia James. Anybody not familiar with Letitia James? She was the one who tried to put Donald Trump in jail for real estate fraud. Well, he beat it. Yeah. So now the FBI found out that she was up to her neck in real estate fraud, and she may be going to jail. Yeah. So sometimes you reap what you sow.
Yeah, I've said for years, whatever the Democrats are saying the Republicans are doing, that's exactly what the Democrats are doing.
Yep. And she's standing behind him, just smiling away.
Now, look at the people. Look at the people behind him, and realize these people want New York to be a dump. I'm trying to be polite. Yeah. They absolutely want it.
Well, it's one of the most
because they're not gonna have to eat in the gutter like the regular person is.
Yeah.
You think Letitia's going to eat from the gutter and be in the soup kitchens and the bread lines and all that stuff, trying to find toilet paper somewhere? No, not her.
Yeah. No, of course not. She never will. And if she does get...
It's a big separation from the ruling class and the working class with socialism.
Yeah. Once in a while.
When socialism hits, everyone who has a seat at the table of power keeps it, and everyone who doesn't kisses it goodbye because they'll never have it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's getting to that point. Even if Letitia James gets convicted, she has to do some time, which I doubt. She'll go to Club Fed, play tennis for about 6 months, and then she'll say, "Oh, I'll never do it again."
And the next Democrat president who comes in will give her a full pardon, and
yeah, you got that too.
And a lot of times they're just trying to run out the clock. They just run out. That's what the Clintons do all the time. They just ran out the clock.
Yeah, but the thing is, one day they're going to have to stand in front of God, and He's the real judge. And
he's outside of space, time, energy, and mass.
That's right. You can't wait Him out. We're all going to stand in front of him one day. And that's why another reason why I wanted to do this tonight, because I wanted to put a Christian perspective on politics here, especially with these two elections here, especially New York. I'm delving into New Jersey a little bit, but it's not as key as New York is. It's key for me because I know a Democrat's just going to raise up my taxes. They always do. I mean, this last Democrat did. As a matter of fact, the guy who's governor now, Phil Murphy, he actually is quoted as saying, "If you don't like high taxes, then New Jersey's not for you."
Oh my goodness!
And, yeah, he said that, and he got reelected after saying that. That's how silly, stupid New Jersey voters can be.
How much you guys paying for a gallon of gas up there?
It's gone down. It's just under $2. $3 a gallon. It's about 280, 289, 289.
Where I'm at, it bounces that way too.
Yeah.
Some areas it's 240, but the area that I live in, it's bounced between 270 and 289 all the time. And I'm like, look, the gas should be coming down by now. What's going on?
What's not coming down is groceries and all that.
Not coming down. It all revolves around fuel and transport costs, I bet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me start this guy up again. Madani. I keep messing his name up.
Us home is faster and freer and safer too.
But the rise of the 34-year-old Democratic socialist who promises free buses and government-run grocery stores has also sparked.
They had didn't remember the government-run grocery stores in the Soviet Union where people had to line up, for food.
Yeah, here's what Mamdani and all these other socialists don't realize. It looks good on paper. If you put it on paper, it looks wonderful.
Doesn't it?
But when you go to socialism, what they never factor in and what they can't put on the paper is the human element that drops. There's no more incentive to work. If you know you're going to get your electric bill every month, why do you work to pay for your electric bill? You don't.
Right.
So if you don't show up to work making shoes, the guy who has bread wants shoes. He can't get shoes, so you can't get bread. And it all falls apart because humans will be as lazy as you let them be. That's why the Bible says, if you don't work, you don't eat. You have got to do that. And when socialism hits, watch this. It'll be so destructive that within days, people will realize how bad it really is. Right now, they're all like, it's social. Because guess what they've been teaching in our colleges for 20, 30, 40, 50
yes.
years?
Yes.
I know somebody that I work with that says, oh, well, socialism. I said, tell me a country where socialism has worked.
Right.
And they said, well, we've never tried it in America. And because we have the resources, it'll work here. And I said, no, that's what you've been taught in college. But that is not the truth because people will become lazy.
Robin says socialism will never work because people put in power become corrupt and use the system to put as much money and power in their own control. Just look at what the false churches are doing. Absolutely.
Look at the Clinton family. You think that what's her name? What's Hillary's daughter's name? I won't call her Bill's daughter. Hillary's daughter is Chelsea's going to pick it up. She's going to pick it up and run with it. She's behind the scenes powerful.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They build a caste system where them and their children and their grandchildren, just like the Kennedys and the Rockefellers and all these other high dollar people in America, they leave an inheritance to their children, and it's all taken away from everybody else, and you never see them leave.
Mm-hmm.
They become their own form of royalty.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Nancy Pelosi is 85 years old. She has been in Congress forever. I asked Siri today who is the oldest member of Congress, and it's some guy named John Fetterman, and then Chuck Schumer second. And I don't know how old Chuck Schumer is, but he's got to be older than 85. And that's what I mean. They have these war horses up there that just keep going back and back and back. And I go, when you're 85 years old, why do you want to still be in Congress? When do you want to retire? And here's my opinion, Mark. I I think is because they're so filthy dirty, they're afraid to leave Congress because they're afraid they'll go to jail once they leave
no,
office.
that's serious. They have protection as long as they're providing what the outside needs, they're
Yeah.
protected. Yeah, that's how Epstein got off like the first rap. He told all his
Mhm.
people, "Hey, if I go to jail, I'm gonna talk." Well, guess who didn't go to
Yeah.
jail?
Yeah. Well,
And look at the Clintons too. One of the things that I had a thought was, when Hillary lost to Trump, she owed a lot of people a lot of favors
yeah.
because they were expecting her to become the president, and that's when they would get their payoff. And it didn't
Yep.
happen. And so they
Right.
took a big hit. They took a big hit in the power structure and the social structure. But those people were like, "Hey, I need a return on my money."
Right.
And they never got it. So the Clintons are just, I mean, they're the dregs of America.
Yeah, they are.
Looks like something you wipe off your shoe before you come into the house.
Yeah. And she's just comes across as just the nastiest person. My mother told me, she goes, and I don't agree with my mother. And she goes, at least Bill was charming. She says, but Hillary's just nasty. You could just see the nasty tone underneath her.
I ran
I looked at
across
my.
when I was a SWAT team leader, and I went to a class on high risk entry, and we ran across, me and my assistant team leader, we ran across two Secret Service agents who were actually in the White House for about 3 weeks, and they're like, "Get us out of here. We're gone. We don't know. Get us out of the White House."
Oh, what, during the Clintons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll see if I can clean this up. They said Bill slept on one floor of the White House and Hillary had the other one. There was one on top of the other.
Yeah.
And they said when you were on the floor with Bill, there were all kinds of very young, scantily clad girls running around, and they were purposefully degrading the Secret Service agents. And so,
Really?
yeah, and they would make fun of them and everything, and they're half dressed. Now, what the two Secret Service agents told me. They said they were half dressed and all that stuff, just running around the top floor of the White House or wherever Bill was quartered. Well, underneath was where Hillary's floor was, and they said it was the same girls running around doing the same thing. It was nothing but Bill and Hillary brothel, as I was told by two Secret Service agents who worked there for 3 weeks and said, "Get us out."
Wow. They're as sleazy as they come.
But look at history. Look at what Kennedy was doing. Kennedy was doing that for years before the Clintons ever got in there to do that stuff. It's so corrupting. Power, unless you get somebody in there who is a good character, power just makes it worse.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And it I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure there's Republicans out there who are probably doing the same thing. Maybe they're just better at hiding it than the Democrats were. Yeah, it's especially with and people, and because Kennedy was assassinated and he died the way he did, he's still up on a pedestal. I got a feeling. I mean, a lot of stuff came out afterwards. I wonder if he would have lived, what that would have done to him. But look at all the stuff that Bill Clinton was exposed of, and the Democrats still love him.
Hey, Chattahoochee, your comment. That was the understanding I got from those two agents. Now we know that that's not always been true, because wasn't there a guy that died that his body ended up being moved, that they said Hillary was romantically involved in? And then we know that Chelsea's not Bill's daughter. She's not Bill's daughter. She's somebody else's daughter. So we know that Hillary has not always been accused of playing for the other side, I guess we should say.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, that's what they were trying to get across to me, is that the same floor, same as on Bill's floor, was the same thing happening on Hillary's floor.
That's incredible. I like Uncensored 2040 says the only thing worse than a Democrat is a rhino.
Yeah.
We have plenty of them. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And look, folks, that's just the story two guys told me that were Secret Service. I can't prove any of that.
Yeah. We got that, but it wouldn't shock me in the slightest.
Well, they had no reason. They have no reason to lie. I mean, why would you lie about that? You're no longer in the White House. You know, you're
Yeah.
working counterfeit money or some other kind of detail that they work. Why would you want to lie about that?
That's true. The polls are going to close here in New York and New Jersey in 5 minutes. Usually it's 10 seconds after the polls close. With 1% of the precincts reporting, we can say, without a shadow of a doubt, that Madani.
Well, now talk to me, because I don't know how New York works. Does he have to get like 50.1% to be elected, or does he just have to score the most percentage out of everybody?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. And that's New York and how they do their thing. New Jersey, I don't know either. They carve up New Jersey like this as far as the
gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering, yeah, exactly. And so that's why New Jersey just goes to blue all the time, because listen, I lived here all my life, and I know a lot of people who have the same values that I have. I mean, a lot of people. And somehow, year after year, once in a while, we'll get a governor who's a Republican, but it's usually not a good governor. Chris Christie was the last Republican governor here. He was awful. And then before him, I'm sorry?
I never understood why people would live their life as conservatives, but vote progressive. I just never understood it. You live your life. You go to work, you pay your taxes, you play fair, you help the needy, you do all these things, and then you vote liberal.
Yeah.
I never understood it.
Yeah, I could never understand that either. I mean, after what had happened with Trump in the 2020 election, how the Republicans just turned their backs on him like they did, I was just disenfranchised. I was a Reagan Republican. He was the first person I ever voted for. I was 18. Yeah. And you and I are the same age. And so, and I've always voted Republican. And then when that happened, I was disenfranchised with them. I said, man, they're just as slimy as the Democrats. So I just became an independent. When I did that, then both parties send me their propaganda in the mail. And I'm getting this, Trump's going to take away your right to choose. And then the Republicans send out, the Democrats are going to take your guns away. And it's the same thing all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if you're following the bang bang issue going on, but Trump made a huge mistake when he put that lady in as Attorney General. Huge mistake for the Second Amendment, folks. We're in bad shape right now. It's all falling apart. Oh. Yeah, I've said for years that when the economy fell, I felt like the Democrats would ruin the economy so bad. And then when a Republican got in, that's when it was collapsed. And they would say, see, the Republicans did it.
Yeah.
And really, they set the Republican up to fail. I've always thought that was the situation. But you got to realize, too, there's world politics going on here. There's people pulling strings and sliding in smoke and mirrors and all that stuff. You won't know until you die if the Lord will tell you what actually happened to us.
Yeah. Let me finish this clip here just a second.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo, whom Mamdani beat in a primary and is now running as an independent.
Socialism has not worked anywhere on the globe, not in Venezuela, not in Cuba, and it's not going to work in New York City.
Mamdani's rise comes as a new NBA.
What's that?
Unless you're rich and you already have the power, then it's great. It's great. Because no one can get rid of you. All they do is just make a law. Socialists just pass a law, doesn't take any kind of voice of the people. They just make a law, and now you can't get rid of me.
Right, and that's the truth. And we've been slowly losing our freedom since 9/11. It's just they've been chiseling away at it. And the thing about socialism too is my father always used to say, eventually, why socialism doesn't work is because you run out of other people's money, eventually, and like I said, there's going to be two classes of people, rich and poor, under socialism. That's always how it works.
Yep. The working class and the ruling class.
The Democrats are always the one running around talking about Trump's a Nazi and he's killing free speech. Think about who the Nazis were and what they did when Hitler came to power. The first thing they did was, that's it. He became a dictator, And now we get free this and free that and free this and free that.
Folks,
And then
what does the government do that's good? What do they do that's good? They don't do anything for our veterans. They can't run a hospital. They can't do anything good. And you're going to give them your whole entire life, income, and health? It's ridiculous.
And the Democrats think that's how things should be. Of course, I have family in Staten Island. Also, the Democrats are Nazis. Yes. Yeah, I would say they're far closer to the Nazis than the Republicans are.
Yeah.
News poll shows 35% of Democrats nationwide now have a positive view of social.
Isn't that scary?
Compared to only 20% with a negative view. What is at stake for the Democratic Party in this election?
I think the Democratic Party is going through a civil war. I don't believe Americans will accept the Democratic Party as a socialist party that supports a socialist economy.
Another key race tomorrow, the tight contest for governor in New Jersey.
She wants you to think she's a moderate. She's no moderate. She supported Joe Biden's open border policies.
Pitting Republican Jack Ciattarelli, who just welcomed his son back from active duty abroad, against former Navy pilot and Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, trying to make the race a referendum on President Trump.
Does he say, hey, I'm serving you no matter what the cost? No. On every single occasion, Jack has decided, I'm going to defend Trump.
With spending projected at more than $200 million, it's expected to be the most expensive race in New Jersey history.
Gee, I wonder who's picking up the tab for that. $200 million. You can believe that?
Yeah, I've been seeing her commercials a lot on the videos that I watch. And she is saying stuff like, with this other guy, I can't pronounce his name. Just telling out and out lies about his voting record and all this kind of stuff. But here's the thing. The people that aren't going to vote for her know they're lies. The people who are going to vote for her don't care if they're lies. And the battle for the middle is, number one, unfortunately, whoever looks the best and is more likable. That's who they will vote for.
Right. And in New York, for instance, they've stacked the deck. All right. Now you got 4 people, 2 independents running for this. Those 2 independents are going to honestly, one of the independents, Andrew, I keep remembering Mario Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo, let's just put it this way. He might as well be the Republican because Trump's backing him. He's not backing Curtis Lewa. Curtis Lewa is the independent. And I guess you could almost look at Andrew Cuomo as jumping ship to the Republican Party because if that's who somebody's going to vote for before they'll vote for. I
think Hannity, and I don't listen to a lot of Hannity. I think Hannity said he was backing Cuomo simply because at least he is a somewhat reasonable Democrat who's not going to totally destroy New York, I think is the way he put it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And then we'll forget about Eric Adams. Like I said,
he dropped out. He dropped out. I don't even know why he's on the ballot other than to draw votes away.
That's all. That's all it is, to draw votes away. And
when I say he dropped out, I'm just saying I've heard that on the radio that he dropped out. Of course, I'm not up there. So.
Right.
The radio told me wrong, and I passed it on wrong.
I never even heard of him until I did my research today, and I was like, Eric Adams, who's that? That is. All right, let me finish this up.
And in another left-leaning state, a matchup that will result in the first female governor in Virginia's history, with Democrat Abigail Spanberger taking on Republican Winsome Earl Sears.
Sam Brock joins us from the campaign trail there in Queens. Mamdani just there behind you. We can see him in the crowd. And now President Trump is weighing in again on the New York mayor's race. What's he saying, Sam?
Tom, that's right. This was just referenced here, the fact that the president is encouraging people to vote for Cuomo to block Mamdani. As you see Mr. Mamdani at this moment addressing this large crowd around me, we found out there were 735,000 early votes, Tom. That is 4 times what it was in the previous mayoral election. With a surge of young voters coming in over the weekend, that would be key to any Mamdani victory.
We thank you for watching it.
Imagine that. Young voters coming in.
Yeah.
You hear what he said?
Yeah.
Folks,
right.
This is awful.
Freshly brainwashed from college.
Awful. This is absolutely, this is terrible.
You've got to give it to them, though. They are organized and they're well funded. by a man named George Soros, who, if you actually do any research of George Soros, like I did one time, you can't find, they have scrubbed the internet about him. You cannot find anything bad about him at all, other than he's this wealthy business tycoon and philanthropist.
So let me tell you a quick story. I was in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, and we call it JBAD. I was in JBAD, and for once, I was not the protecting person. I was the principal. I was the one they were protecting. Mm-hmm. So we had these Bulgarian or Romanian, I forgot who they were. I think they might have been Romanian bodyguards that were, doing their pre-mission checks and all that stuff. And then I was talking to my team about what we were going to do.
Right.
And so we started talking about George Soros, and one of the Romanians came over to me, and he was in a fit of rage, and he dog cussed me for all I was worth and said he better not ever hear me mention George Soros's name again, because really? Soros destroyed his country. See, that's what Soros did. He bets against a country, and then he destroys it so he wins.
Yeah,
that's how
that's
he
what
wins.
He's doing here.
Yeah, and so that guy didn't even want me to say his name. I said, I'm sorry, I wasn't praising him. He's like, he just don't want to hear it. And
hear his name.
Not even want to hear the name. And that's how bad he's destroyed 5 or 6 countries. And America is his crown jewel, and he's winning.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what he's been quoted as saying he wants to destroy America. Can't find that on the internet anymore, but yeah, he's been quoted as saying that.
Yeah, and you wonder why the Crypt Keeper is still alive, because he's ancient, but
I know
evil has a way of keeping folks alive.
Yeah, they do. As long as they keep making the world that much more evil.
Billy Joel said, "Only the good die young."
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why Billy's still alive. Billy's been a very bad boy. All right, let me do this here.
Remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Over in New Jersey, the GOP thinks it might actually be able to pull off a surprise victory. A Republican.
I don't see this guy winning either. I'd like to see it, but I don't.
Faces Democratic.
Here's the thing. Here's what people don't understand. So when I was doing the things that I've done overseas, you have something called PSYOPs. I know you know what PSYOPs is. Psychological operations. So what is this guy right here doing by saying, "Oh, Cigarelli could win"? He's whipping everybody who's not going to vote, that would vote Democrat. You better go vote. This Republican's going to win. What he's doing is he's rallying the base to make sure they get out and vote for the Democrat. That's how this works. This is the PSYOPs.
Well, you see where I got this from? CBS News, a very liberal station.
Yep, that he might as well have said, "Hey, if y'all don't go vote, that guy's going to win." He said that, just not in those exact words. And people look at that and they're like, "Cigarelli has a chance. Oh, I better go vote tomorrow."
My where I went to vote was very, very busy. Took me a while to get through there. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But the area that I live in of New Jersey is a very conservative area. But we do have a Democrat for the mayor.
They're going to put a wall around you guys and just lock you up right there.
I got to get out of here.
It's for your safety. Yeah.
I've been looking at real estate in Alabama.
Let me tell you something. You need to live in Florida and work in Alabama.
Do you?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I got to. Florida. But there's no state tax.
When you're 65 in Alabama, you don't pay property tax anymore.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah, and in Florida, you're not paying income tax. And listen, the South has it together.
Yeah.
Now it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, I like hot. I'm not tired of shoveling snow. Take a wild guess what I pay in property taxes here. I already know what you guys pay. I looked it up. I was like, whoa, really? Wow.
I think, and I could be totally wrong. And Flower Girl, if you'd rather I didn't say this, I'm sorry. I think we're paying somewhere around $300 a year in property taxes.
Oh,
I think that's what it was. I know it wasn't thousands. It wasn't none of that.
take $4,000 a year and double it. And that's what I'm paying in property taxes here in New Jersey. Yeah. And they just upped it again. So I think it's time to put the house on the market.
Okay, so the flower girl texted me $418 in taxes, property taxes this year.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, my property taxes come right out of my mortgage. It's all one big thing, you know. I mean, my mortgage is nothing compared to what my property taxes are a month. You know, it's ridiculous. Let's see. Feathers says she plays over 6 Gs. Well, I don't know where Feathers is from. Feathers, where are you from? You from Jersey? If you're from Jersey, I want to move where you are. So yeah, that's and New York's higher. Massachusetts. My sister moved to upstate New York from Massachusetts, and she said her property taxes in upstate New York doubled what they were in Massachusetts. And Massachusetts is ridiculously high. So,
my goodness.
Yeah, school taxes. That's what they say. 90% of my property taxes goes towards the schools. Then why are our schools failing? You know, explain that to me. All right, let me finish the rest of this video here. There's not too much left here.
Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, she's raising concerns about the president's economic policies. Meanwhile, Chitterelli is trying to tie her to the government shutdown.
Everything coming from Donald Trump in Washington has had the effect of raising costs. So whether it's the tariff plan, putting small businesses out of business, raising costs on everyone, freezing hiring in large businesses, or the one big beautiful bill, which is driving up utility costs. And now we are staring down the barrel at 175% increase in premiums.
There's only one implication.
Okay. Now I have this against Trump. I am furious with Trump over this. His first term, he said he would open up getting insurance across state lines, which would have made competition available and would have driven the cost down. And then he didn't do it. He didn't put Hillary in jail. He didn't build the wall, and he didn't let us get insurance across state lines. Now, he started building the wall for his reelection, but when he first got in, he was going to build the wall, and then it sat there.
Yeah.
So he's upset me. But when you talk about all these things that the president's doing, you got to understand too, New Jersey and New York and Alabama, we pretty much do make our own rules. So the federal government can affect a little bit, but they're not the ones that are destroying New Jersey or New York.
No.
Federal government.
No.
But that's what she wants, that her people will believe that, because they don't watch any other news other than what they're fed through, liberal news.
Right. And that's about all you see around here, other than Fox News, which is spinning it the completely other way. You know,
Fox
I
News
mean,
is not clean and all this. I've caught Fox News in some lies before.
Oh yeah. So I try not to watch any of that stuff. I trust YouTube more than I trust Fox News or MSNBC or CNN. and even
YouTube, and even YouTube scrubs stuff they don't want on there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you
could somehow see the absolute truth in America, our lives would look nothing like it does now. You would not recognize our lives. The smoke and mirrors, the lies, the backroom deals, the global pulling of the puppet strings, folks. You've only got one hope, and that's the Lord Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And if you're missing that, all this is nothing. They've turned it into manure, is what they've turned it into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really sad to see what our country is going down this rabbit hole. Chattahoochee says, I'm looking forward to moving back to Bama. I've had enough of Florida, she says.
Well, I don't know. I always thought Florida had it better than Alabama, but since she's lived there, hey, come on.
We have the lovely Rose Ludwig here tonight. Very depressing. I hate this voting. It don't end up for us. Hannity left New York because of taxes. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the folks that are leaving New York and New Jersey and all those places, they knew to get out a while back. The people who I saw an article saying the townhouse owners are going to get hit so hard when Mamdani gets in, because he's gonna do like controlled rent and stuff like that, and people are going to lose their investment.
Yeah, it's going to drive the value of the homes probably down, but that's real estate in New York's incredibly expensive as it is, but we'll see there. I mean, the people that do live in here, they need to stabilize their rent over there. I have two nieces. Well, one niece now lives in Brooklyn. My other niece got married and she moved out in Brooklyn. But my niece Liz, she there's no way she could afford an apartment by herself. She had like 4 roommates at one time, and it was like my mother and father said they went over there. They were living in like the living room was like used to be a hallway on this walk up, no elevator. But they're all like, but we're living in New York. That's the big thrill to them. They were living in New York, and it was like, sorry.
Listen, I want to live where if I want to go off on the back porch and shoot my bang stick, nobody's got anything to say about it. And right now I can do that. My neighbors may say, "Hey, was that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was me." I try to give them a heads up so the dogs don't run. But where we live, we can pretty much do what I want to. I can take the garbage out without a shirt on and not be embarrassed. Let's put it that way.
I can't.
Nobody sees me without a shirt on. Where we live, I can do that if I want to. Freedom.
Well, Shane Vaughn's been seen without his shirt on now for my last thumbnail. So I'm still surprised I haven't gotten a cease and desist for that. But let me play the rest of this here.
Of New Jersey, communities like this, they don't blame it on the president. They know it's the governor and the Democratic legislator that are responsible.
Let's bring in CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman. Katrina, you were at a rally for Congresswoman Cheryl on Saturday, where we saw former President Barack Obama speak. Are these high-profile endorsements helping her? What was the mood like?
Vlad, we won't know for sure until Election Day, but all of these key figures in the Democratic Party have come out in recent weeks to campaign with Mikey Sherrill. That includes Senators Ruben Gallego, Cory Booker, Gretchen Whitmer, and former President Barack Obama. There was real enthusiasm in that crowd. And while one of the voters who I talked to came out, she was very emotional about getting to be so close to Obama. Most of the people that I spoke with are really behind Mikey Sherrill. One of the women actually lived in a red county and said she's just been trying to convince everyone to get behind her. But what Obama told that crowd, Vlad, is that Americans are being tested and that electing Mikey Sherrill is something that the entire country will be watching that can set an example for the rest of the country here. He extolled her background, the fact that she was a Navy helicopter pilot who then went to law school and became a federal prosecutor, Vlad. He said, all while raising 4 children, then ran for Congress, now running for governor. Barack Obama said he got tired just thinking about it. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Do we have to?
Mikey doesn't just say the right thing. As your governor, she will do the right thing. She understands.
I do not miss the sound of this man's voice whatsoever.
They talk about the cadence and the rhythm of Adolf Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
2 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
This guy knows when to pause. He knows how to rally. He knows how to put lilt in his voice. He knows how to drop that brow and raise that brow. Folks, this is a polished orator. This is a polished speaker. And everyone there is under his spell.
Yeah. And somebody else is pulling his strings. They did for the 8 years he was in office. As long as he did what he was told.
He's a globalist, absolutely.
Yeah. He sailed right through. Trump, on the other hand, is bucking the system, both sides of the aisle. Everybody hates him,
Well, that's because both sides of the aisle are down with bringing America to its end.
Yeah.
Both sides want it. It's just why they want it for different reasons. You got to remember, okay, if you bring in socialism, even the Republicans who have a seat at the table of power are going to stay there because you have to give the appearance of democracy, even though it's really not. You have to give the appearance of a republic, even though we're no longer a republic. So those people will just stay in power forever. And because of socialism, you can't get rid of them. You don't need to elect them. And if you do, you just steal the election. And there's no power to oversee elections under socialism. That's why when a socialist dictator gets in, you can't get rid of them. Isn't it amazing that Vladimir Putin gets 97% of the Russian vote every year? 97%.
I think it was Saddam Hussein and got 100%. So
imagine that, yeah.
Imagine that. Everybody voted for him. Jeez, it's easy to vote for a guy when there's a gun to your head.
Yeah, I lived there. I know he didn't get no 100%. They were dancing. We were afraid. Listen, when he was unalived, we were afraid of projectiles falling on our head. There was so much happy fire.
Oh, is that so? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I was very happy to see this man leave office, Barack Obama. I was not a fan. I can see his line of BS coming a mile away, but the left just loved him. They did.
Make a difference in people's lives.
Obama was really out there
Okay,
as well,
Vlad.
Vlad.
Can you put that on pause?
Yeah.
Now, he said that Mikey is not only says the right things, she's going to do the right things. Remember when Barack Obama, when a news media person asked him about his campaign promises, he said, "Oh, that's just campaign speak. No one expects us to really deliver on that." That's the man who just told you Mikey is going to say and do the right things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. The polls have closed in New York and New Jersey. So whatever damage has been done is done. I don't have any news yet of any poll results, but
we're going to wake up to a different America tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we definitely are, because I got a feeling this Madani is going to be the governor of New York.
And governor is very important. It's very important, the governorship, because I don't know exactly how it all works, but you can change.
I'm sorry, he's going to be mayor, not governor.
Right. But for New York, well, Kochel is the governor, right?
Who?
Kochel, isn't that her name? That's governor of New York?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. The governorships are very, very important. Right now, I think there's more Republican governors than Democrat governors. But it's all interlocked, and it all works towards one side or the other.
Yeah, well, the whole Northeast for the longest time is just blue, locked blue. And it's, I don't know. I'm hoping someday they wake up here, but not anytime soon. It looks like. I mean, when you got a primary and your Democratic nominee is a socialist, then we got a serious problem on our hands in the Northeast.
A successful socialist, yeah. You know, I have heard people say the worst thing they ever did was send their kids to college, and
I have too.
Yeah, I can understand that, because that's where this all came from. This is straight out of the Führer's handbook on give me education and I'll take the country.
Right. And, they think the Reverend Sun Myung Moon was a cult that would brainwash people. They got nothing on the Democrats and as far as the socialist professors in colleges. All they are is one big, brainwashing think tank up there, and their parents pay thousands and thousands of people go into debt to have them brainwashed the way they are. And you'll have private schools here and abroad that are doing the exact same thing, where you're paying for your kids to go to a school where it's nothing but left-wing propaganda and
indoctrination.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Appeal to black voters in New Jersey who they really need to come out in this race. And when he was talking about Donald Trump, what's going on in the White House, getting a lot of boos in that audience, he told people, don't boo, get out and vote for Mikey Sherrill.
So meanwhile, for Citarelli, as you know, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, will hold a tele-rally for him tonight. Does the lack of in-person campaigning impact chances at all?
What's that?
Is his teleconference or whatever a little bit late?
Well, this was recorded earlier.
Well, okay.
This might be a very strategic decision by both President Trump and Jack Citarelli, because Trump is not that popular in New Jersey right now. He's given Ciattarelli his endorsement. This is the second time he's appearing via telephone for him to campaign. But it might be very strategic for him not to show up in person in New Jersey.
Okay, stop.
A big
Folks, Ciattarelli asked for his endorsement. Trump will not just endorse somebody because if Ciattarelli would have said, "Mr. President, thank you, but please, I'd rather you not get involved," Trump wouldn't have gotten involved. So for them to say, "Oh, well, Trump endorsed him," Ciattarelli, trust me, wanted the endorsement because without Trump's endorsement, he wouldn't have got what he did get. I'll bet you.
Mm-hmm. And he ran. I think he ran for governor last time around. It was Ciattarelli did, and he was beaten by our current governor, and he was bad mouthing Trump. So I'm surprised that Trump endorsed him at all. But what are you going to do? He's the Republican nominee, so I guess he's forced to. There's no love lost between. And listen, and as far as both of these candidates concerned, I held my nose when I voted today. For both of them, they're not what New Jersey needs. I've noticed in the 50-some years I lived in New Jersey, when there is a Republican that gets in there, usually does absolutely nothing because their hands are tied. Because the state house is chocked full of Democrats. They're a lame duck. As soon as they enter office, they can't do anything. They're the governor, sure, but nothing gets done.
The only thing you can hope for is gridlock. That left side doesn't advance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, with all the gerrymandering, then these people are not going anywhere. So
I had let me tell you what I saw in Alabama today. I was helping a buddy with his business, and we were coming back from Huntsville, Alabama, and I looked up and I see this billboard. They have stores they call Trump stores, where it's stores with nothing but Trump stuff in it. I mean, it might be coffee cups with Trump on it, or flags, or masks, or hat. Listen, the South loves Trump, but at the same time, they're going to be powerless over the economy, because when New York falls, it's going to send a ripple through the rest of the country.
Yeah,
we're not going to recover from it. And I am not the sky's falling kind of guy. But I'm telling you, this is absolutely changing American history right now.
Yeah, it is. When I was up in the Poconos, we call it here, the Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania, we ran into some of those Trump stores as well. They had
really?
Not in Jersey, but in PA they had some, yeah.
I had never seen them before. I was like, a Trump store? What?
Yeah.
There's whole stores with nothing but his stuff in it?
Oh, yeah. You want to
make
anything imaginable, flags and Halloween masks and all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah. All right, I got a few seconds left on this thing. Hold on.
There has been the fact that Trump has frozen funds for the Gateway Tunnel project. This is a key transit project for the state, and something that both Cheryl and Ciattarelli are still standing behind. What he's saying is he's going to keep pushing for that project, but that he'll be able to work with Donald Trump on it.
All right, Katrina Kaufman reporting for us this morning. Thanks, Katrina.
All right, let me see if I can get this one here. No, that's me.
Tonight in New York City,
hold on a second. There we are. I knew there was one with just you and me, so I wanted to get that. See, that you're bigger now. It's much better. So, all right. So the other thing I wanted to do tonight, once I got through all this political nonsense, was I went through some of these channels today, because there's such powerful prophets that I was almost positive that there would be some prophecy out here about some of these races. I mean, we have a socialist running for the mayor of New York City. First time that's ever going to happen. Virginia's got 2 women that are running for governor, I believe, down there. First time in American history that Virginia will have a female governor. And I went through some of the Ken Christmas, crickets, Julie Green. Not a word. And that woman has 250 false prophecies. Although if anybody didn't see Drew's short video he put out today, he just scrolled all her false videos. I was like, and then, but of course, the one and only Robin Bullock. Nothing.
Okay, so let me give you my observation for this. It doesn't behoove anyone in the South, where Robin Bullock and Kent Christmas and Timothy Dixon and Julie Green and all these other false prophets do their best. It doesn't make them any money to prophesy a New York political race. It's not going to gain them a dime.
Right.
So, but to do it to the president, yes. And like we talked about in other shows, it's amazing how they can tell you who the president's going to be, but not who the vice president's going to be until it's announced. Right. No one knew J.D. Vance was going to be the vice president. Well, isn't it strange how in local elections, God's not interested in that. God's not interested in America's local elections. No. Only the federal presidential election is God concerned about. That's because that's the big guy. Yeah, the prophets only prophesy over those things.
Exactly. But it should be important to somebody like a Robin Bullock or somebody or Timothy Dixon, somebody from the South, because all right, so what's a big thing in the South? Cotton. They grow a lot of cotton in the South. I'm from Jersey, so I'm just throwing out cotton as an example.
Maybe soybeans and stuff would be a little bit more now than cotton.
Traded on the New York Stock Exchange every day. Okay, what do you think will happen with the socialist socialist mayor in New York City? All right, will the stock exchange even stay there?
I don't think it will.
You know,
you won't be able to afford it.
People can't afford anything in New York now, but this guy's going to win because he's saying, okay, the country's in shambles because of all this Democratic rule all these years, but I'm going to fix it by giving you free stuff because some of these people are hurting. And with the government shutdown right now, there's people out there not getting food stamps. That I'm sure helped make up their minds.
Well, it's also going to depend on what news they listen to, because one side's going to say it's Trump's fault. Trump's going to say, what's the purpose of spending all this money on homosexual causes in other countries? Not even our own country, but in other countries. And it's because it's all kickback money. It's all kickback money.
And Feather says he's a Trojan horse for Islam. He absolutely is.
Oh yeah, he absolutely is. In fact, I'm only going to disagree with this one thing, Feathers. He's not technically a Trojan horse because he's putting it out in the open. He's just he's broadcasting it. He's telling you who he is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
he's absolutely he's a cog in the big Islamic machine of taking over.
Right. They've been trickling in here for many, many years. And now they're getting political power, and this is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, look at what Obama did. How many known terrorisms were working in our own federal government in sensitive places?
Yeah,
they were in the space agencies. They were everywhere because he let them in, and that's exactly what's going to happen in New York.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it's going to happen.
They're going to run amok. They're going to be protected. And they're going to run amok.
I like this one. Thank you for keeping it clean, Forex. He says, bunch of Islamic poo-poo.
Yeah.
That is the truth. And but again, where are the prophets on this one? You know, where are the prophets? We need to pray for this country more than ever because things are not looking really very well here.
Yeah, I thought the prophets prophesied Trump was going to make America great again, and one of the two biggest cities and probably more iconic than any other city in America, New York, is about to have to turn their flag upside down.
Yeah. I watched the news segment the other day where they figured if he's elected to the mayor, probably they're going to lose 1 million people will move out of that city. Because things are going to get so bad there.
That's a conservative number.
You think so? Yeah.
Well, let me back up. There'll be 1 million producers leave, and a million air breathers come in. That they'll take the place, but you won't have the production that you had before Mamdani.
I remember when I was a kid, my father was a New Jersey Transit bus driver, and once in a while I would just jump on his bus, and he drove the airports, and in Newark Airport, and he would go over to New York City Airport.
Are you telling me that you were a Bronx Story or whatever that was?
No, that's the Bronx Tale. No. He was a New Jersey Transit bus.
Yeah, the guy would jump on his dad's bus and ride around and everything. Yeah, okay.
I would. He did when he did the local runs. I used to do that too, and a little. But
that sounds like fun.
by the time I was a teenager, he graduated from those Newark to Elizabeth local runs, and he got Newark Airport to Port Authority, New York.
Oh, he was no longer in the radioactive zone.
No. And he would get robbed all the time in Newark.
Really?
Oh yeah. My father had a gun stuck in his face more times than you probably did in Baghdad. So knives too. The whole thing. It was the whole thing. And but anyway, we went over to New York one time, and Port Authority bus station is on 42nd Street and 8th Avenue in New York. And back in the early 1980s, like late 70s, early 1980s, that was the biggest cesspool armpit of Manhattan. I mean, just your peep shows and strip clubs and everything like that. You walk out of the Port Authority bus terminal, and it was just everywhere. And then Rudolph Giuliani became mayor of New York, and he cleaned all that out of there. You know, it was just amazing. And I mean, you couldn't walk down the streets there. I was 13, 14 years old. There would be drug dealers that would walk up to me and try to sell me drugs with my father standing right next to me. And my father would just go, "Hey, beat it," you know? And it was just a cesspool. So when you have good leadership like that, somebody that actually cares about that city, you can really, do something with it. But now, I don't know. I haven't been over to 42nd Street and 8th Avenue in many years, but I'm sure it's going right back down the tubes again.
Yeah, the propaganda machine on the left is amazingly got it together, because folks will forget how good it was under Giuliani.
Yeah, they will.
And they'll judge him by what he's done recently, and then the left will use that against and say, "Oh yeah, this is the guy that destroyed New York." No, it was actually running pretty good. And I didn't agree with everything Giuliani did, especially with the stop and frisk, which I thought was a violation of the Fourth Amendment, but it worked. So, if drug dealers are afraid to walk across the street because they might get frisked and dope found, they won't walk it across the street. But see, again, you're trading your freedoms for, safety. And so
you are. But didn't we trade our freedoms at every airport now when they body cavity search you before you can get on an airplane? I mean, it's ridiculous what you have to go with that.
Let me tell you about this gold star we all have on our driver's license now. That will allow you to get into federal buildings. If you don't have one, from what I understand, you won't be allowed to get into a federal building. That is against the Constitution, because a federal building is a public building, and you can go anywhere because your tax dollars bought that building. You cannot be trespassed out of a federal building. But the federal government, as part of the step towards the beast system, and I'm going to do a video on this. I know you guys are like, "Are you ever going to do another video again?" Yes, I am.
I've been getting a lot of people asking me about you.
I am. Yeah. I'm going to do one on this digital number. It's not going to be an all-inclusive video, but it's been happening step by step, and this gold star was one step towards the digital number. We don't see that they're connected, but it's all connected.
Yeah, it is. And we all started losing it right after 9/11, when it's for our own protection,
It's what Ronald Reagan used in Germany. We're going to put you behind these fences to protect you from the bad element. And they were imprisoning them.
Ronald Reagan had a great quote. The most horrific thing you could ever hear is, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Yeah.
And man, that was the truest statement I ever heard a president say.
One of the biggest lies ever told to the American people.
What's that?
I'm here for the government.
I'm here to help. Right.
What has the government ever succeeded at doing? They don't do they don't make anything, and they can't get anything to the people, because everybody, the leeches, suck on and suck it all dry before it can get to the people who really need it. Look at the tornado that hit North Carolina and all that stuff under Biden. They didn't get anything. It was ridiculous. And yet think that they're going to be able to control our lives better than we can control it ourselves. Not going to happen.
Well, they've got people brainwashed to think that way.
Yeah.
Robinson, the government is great at fleecing people. Absolutely. That is their biggest fear.
And I'll go one more. And they're also good at getting the American people to thank the American government for fleecing.
Yeah, they do. Thank you. I want to save a
here,
smile on my face.
Here, Mr. Federal Government, you forgot to look in my left pocket. I've got some more for you.
Yeah. Or what they'll do is they tax us to death, and then they turn around and they give us a stimulus check for $500. Here you go. Oh boy, thank you. Yeah,
I went to get my driver's license renewed quite a few years ago, and there was a big long line. There was like 30 or 40 people there and everything. And they said, oh, yeah, you sit right here. So I sat in that area. And then I found out I was told to sit in the wrong area. I was sitting in the license plate area. So now I have to go to the back of the line again to get my driver's license. And I stood up in the crowd. There's probably about 75 people in there. And I yelled this out. I said, it's bad enough that they take our money from us, but they make us wait in line to give it to them. Yeah. I saw 2 sheriff's deputies come up and I said, I'm done. Sat down.
When everybody knows that my kids are adopted, but at first we were fostering them. So when we were foster parents to them, I had to take them to a state clinic, right? And I was in New Brunswick, which it's a fairly big city with traffic. I got stuck in. If you're not there on time, you don't get to see anybody, And Kyle was an infant and he was really sick. And I got there like 5 minutes late and they're telling me that I can't see a doctor. Well, I start flipping out. In there. And I says, how dare you do this? I go, and there's all these people in this place. I go, you can't treat people like this. And it got to the point where there's people starting to applaud me in there. And then happened to you. Here comes the cop. And I go, and I guess the lady at the counter waved him over. I go, that's great. I go, bring the rent-a-cop over here. Well, he didn't like that. So he was a security guard, And you know what happened? They saw my kid. They don't want a scene in there, Yeah.
I took I had a domestic where a true hermaphrodite tried to off her husband. She was 6'4" and built like a linebacker.
Wow. Okay.
And when I pull up, the car is in the house. And I said, ma'am, what happened? And she said, I tried to unalive my husband. I said, don't just say that. Don't just say that. She's like, no, I thought he would be in the easy chair. And so I went out in the car and I did what I did. And I said, well, I have to take you to jail now. She says, I know. I said, okay. I said, look, I'm going to advise you, do not say stuff like that unless you have a lawyer present. Don't tell people what you just did.
Yeah.
So I had to take her to jail. So when I got her to jail, the jailer said, no, you have to take her to a hospital for indigent. It was called Cooper Green for a psych evaluation. We know her. Well, because she had this conflict going on in her body, whether she was male or female, she had a lot of mental problems because she looked at life. She looked at life from male and female. She couldn't pick one. And there was a lot of confusion.
That must be horrible.
Yeah. So she has to be in jail for 12 hours on a domestic. So I take her to Cooper Green and it must be heart attack night because all the doctors, there's nowhere in sight. We go up to the psych floor and we're sitting in this little room. I mean, it's little. It's got 3 seats facing each other. And if you were to sit across, you'd be knocking knees with somebody. We sit there for well over 2 hours. And she says, officer, when am I going to get to go to jail? I know my 12 hours doesn't start till I get booked in. And I said, you know what? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take, because I took the handcuffs off of her. She wasn't a threat to me. Actually, I'm sorry, I moved them in the front. I said, I want you to take that chair and I want you to sling it across the room. And I want you to start screaming and pitching a fit. And she said, you won't put a disorderly on me? I'm like, no, ma'am, I won't. She kicked that chair out of there. She started screaming. Dude, we were out of that hospital in 20 minutes. They saw her. Yes, what is the problem? What is the problem? No, she's fine. She's fine. Here, I'll sign your papers. and I had her gone. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes to get attention nowadays.
Oh yeah.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil, and the left has learned that, and they use it against us.
I found out a crying baby at unemployment will do the same thing. This is back when I was in my 20s. I used to get laid off every year at this can factory I did. And I was babysitting my wife's girlfriend's kid, and he is just flipping out in unemployment. And the next thing you know, the ladies are coming out from behind. They bring me back there. They give him candy and stuff like that. Took care of me. I was like, "Atta boy, can I go? Can I bring him next month too?"
Yeah, really. You didn't even have to pinch him, did you? Yeah, he can just let it fly.
All right, so let's see. We are an hour and 15 minutes into this. I haven't gotten anything yet on as far as results. So we're gonna probably do this. Will be a tomorrow thing.
Okay.
Not like the president. So, but I want to thank you for coming.
I don't even watch presidential elections. I go to bed. I can't.
Oh
change
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get one more good night's sleep before it's over.
I watched. This was funny because I was back in the 2016 election. All the false prophets out there, they had a little jamboree because they knew. I'm sorry, not 2016. I meant 2020. They were sure Trump was going to get reelected, so they all got together and they were just taking turns, one coming in, the other one coming out. Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. And towards the end of the, I actually stayed up and watched that for a while. Towards the end, they're, what do you mean? He's losing? There's something wrong here. No, he's an anointed. And honestly, I didn't want to see Biden as president, but it was hysterical to see all those people face plan on their prophecies.
I said this. I said I wouldn't be surprised if God gave the presidency to Joe Biden just to point out who the false prophets were.
Absolutely, absolutely, and they've been trying to weasel out of that election ever since.
Yeah, trying to go. It was stolen. You can't steal from God. You can't steal from God.
And if it
was God has, it's because He gave it to you. Maybe you were trying to steal it, but He let it go. If you got it from God, He let it go.
Well, and then let's also talk about Robin Bullock and his he's going to be reinstated and Biden's going to be taken out of office. Even after he was inaugurated, they were punting that away. I mean, it was incredible.
And the poor people that believe these false prophets just believed any lie that they came up with as to why the prophecy was missed.
Yeah.
That's what's so sad is the people that believe these false prophets, they want them to be right so much that they will believe lies on top of lies just to believe they're a prophet.
Well, I mean, you know who I used to follow, Mark Taylor, and I was on my way home from work today, and I go, let me just throw him on just for a second to see what he's up to, and it's pathetic what he's doing. I had to turn him off. I couldn't stand it. He's calling out false prophets now. He's on another guy's. Yeah. And he's telling people that they need to use discernment when dealing with these false prophets. I'm like, are you kidding me?
You know why? Because the heretic hunters are catching on. And so he's now going to change sides so he can be popular again. That's
right.
What that's.
Chris McDonald's doing the same thing. Chris McDonald's calling out false prophets now, telling people, oh, this one's fake, that one's fake.
You know, I didn't ride with him, but I had this guy in law enforcement that was just, man, he could make great dope cases. He made great burglary in progress cases, and he was just knocking it out of the park. He was a really, really good cop. And so I was a self-made cop. I was just okay, but I had to work at it. And so I asked him one day, I'm like, man, how come you're so good? It just seems so easy to you. And he's like, look, if you want to catch the bad guys, you should have been a bad guy when you were younger. I know everything they do because I used to do it with them, and now I can catch them. And that's what these false prophets now turn heretic hunters. That's what they're doing. They know the racket. They know all that, but they're still liars. They're still liars.
That was it reminds me of a line in the movie. What was the name of that? The Teamster boss, Jimmy Hoffa, the movie Hoffa. One of the guys says, one of the cops that was protecting him at one of these rallies, he goes, hey, Jimmy, when are you going to organize the cops? And Jimmy Hoffa turns around and goes, no, he goes, I'm going to organize the criminals. Then we can all relax.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was a Teamster for a while. Just but his son was president by then. I'm not that old. All right, we got Brenda. I love this lady's name, Chattahoochee. She's put her first and
that's a
last
river
name.
in the South somewhere. I don't know if it's Florida, Georgia, or where.
Brenda, where's the Chattahoochee? You should know. It's your name. She's saying if you can't beat them, join them, or at least make it appear that you join them. Laugh out loud. I really need new glasses.
Uh-huh.
In what state is the Chattahoochee River?
The answer I found is Alabama.
Hey, it's in Alabama.
Oh, it's in your own state.
I ain't never been on no Chattahoochee River. It's between Georgia and Alabama.
Alabama. I live on the state line. Okay. Cool.
Hey, Siri, take a vacation, baby. There you go.
I never pictured you for a Siri with a British accent.
Oh, I love a British accent.
I dated a British girl shortly when I first got out of the service, and she was just here on holiday with her girlfriend. Yeah. And they thought they were in New York. They won a trip to New York, but they got dropped off in Newark. Okay. So they got like a hotel in Newark, and they were at this, my friend's restaurant sitting at the bar. And I heard that accent. I was like, "You're not from around here, are you?" She goes, "Yes, we won this trip to New York. Where are all the tall buildings?" I go, "Because you're not in New York, sweetheart. You're in New Jersey." So I got sucked into taking them on a tour in New York the next day because I was in Elizabeth, and it's like 15-minute ride to New York City from where I lived. So
yes, Feathers, there is a song about the Chattahoochee.
Yeah, there's a song about the Chattahoochee. I remember.
Hey, down yonder
in the Chattahoochee. Yeah, that's it. I know it.
I'll stop right there.
Me too. And I can think I'm gonna stop this live stream because we're at an hour and 21 minutes. Alabama Woodsman, thank you for coming on. We will see what the future holds for us tomorrow. Being that the prophets out there have not given us anything. All these prophets I have on this list, I checked each one. Not a one. Even slipped by David Hogan's channel and nothing.
Well, there would have to be a dead politician for
yeah. He didn't.
This hand I raised 37 from the unlivement. Yeah, right. Not a single photo or video of any of it.
I thought maybe he's raising Jimmy Carter back up with some peanuts. But
don't give him ideas.
He's the oldest president as it was. We had Jimmy long enough.
Yeah.
Oh, Georgia boy. All right, then. I am going to pack it up. Let's say a prayer tonight for this country. I'll lead us in that. All right. Heavenly Father, we bow our heads tonight and we pray for this country that we love so much, America. May the voters out there make good, wise decisions and put people into office that want to see this country move forward and not backwards. Do not let socialism or communism ever take hold in this land of the free and the home of the brave. And Lord, I pray that in Jesus' name, amen. Short one tonight, but I think it got to the point. All right, folks, God bless you all, and we will catch you probably Saturday night. This is going to be my Wednesday nighter because I'm just I'm not ready for another one tomorrow. All right, since I got doctors and all that. So, all right, so I'm going to take care of everybody, and thank you again, Alabama.
Yes, thank
you. Good night.
Good night.
Strike and strike and strike and strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory.
Well, folks, that's a wrap for tonight's Faith Freakout, where the truth isn't tamed and the word isn't watered down. If tonight stirred your spirit, challenged your thinking, or just made you laugh at how wild things have gotten out there, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this with someone who needs a little holy disruption in their life. If you feel led to support this ministry, whether through prayer, sharing, or content, or giving financially, know that every bit helps us keep the fire burning and the nonsense exposed. you're not just backing a channel, you're fueling a movement that refuses to bow to falsehood. Until next time, stay grounded in the Word, stay bold in your faith, and never stop freaking out in the best way for the truth. Good night, God bless, and as always, keep your discernment dialed to 11.
They're coming here. They're coming here.